Release 4.4 of the application gives you the ability to add complex trackwork formations to your layout. So in addition to the normal left-hand and right-handed points, you can now represent scissor crossovers, Y points, single slips left hand and right hand, trap points, double slips, and three-way points. First, we'll look at single slip points. If you look at a real piece of track work, you will see it's effectively 2 points sort of back to back. So for example here, both of them need to be switched to form that slip route. If neither of them is switched, then it gives you the crossover. So how do we actually create this formation? We'll start off with a couple of normal points. And if we now click on it, you can see that there are more options in the configuration dialog. You've still got the normal point type, right hand, left hand, and Y point, but now you've got various point subtypes. So normal, that's your left hand and right hand and Y points, but then also you've got trap points, single slip points, that's SS1 and SS2, double slip, DS1 and DS2, and then SX, which are scissor crossovers and which can also be used for a better representation of three-way points. So if we have a look at the configuration for point 1, let's create ourselves a single slip. So we're going to use a left-hand single slip, so we'll leave that selected there, and select single slip 1 and apply. If we now open the configuration dialog for point 2 and a similar configuration here, but this time we want the other side of that single slip. So it's going to be single slip 2, and again it's a left hand single slip. So if I hit apply now, and now you can see, although it's 2 separate points, you can move them together. Switch 1 and switch 2. For single slips, it doesn't make any sense unless both are switched together. So we can make point 2 fully automatic without a control button. Click apply. And then for point 1, we can have that also switch point 2. If we click apply now. So now we have a single slip all configured on the screen. Double slips are slightly more complicated. They're still effectively 2 points back to back, but in this case you do need the 2 separate control buttons. So for example, with one of them switched, you've got the straight through route there. I'll just unswitch that again. Switch the other one and you've got the straight through route there. With one switched and one not switched, you've got a slip route there. And then with both switched, you've got the slip route the other way. So configuration is pretty similar to the single slip points that we looked at earlier. If I open the dialog for point 1 and open the dialog for point 2, this time we want to select DS1 for one half of the slip point. We'll keep it left hand one, click apply, and then for the other point, point 2, we need the other half of it. Press that and apply. And now again we have 2 points on the schematic, move them together, and there is your double slip point. Now we'll look at how you can create a scissors crossover on the schematic. Scissors crossovers are effectively a way of linking 2 lines, so you've got a straight through route there and a straight through route there, and you can cross over one way and you can cross over the other way. So for this we need 4 points, 2 right hand and 2 left hand. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change those into the SX type of point, which is for scissors crossover. So we'll select that and click OK. Select that, click OK. And for the other 2. Now what we can do is to rotate point 2 and link that there, move point 3 across and rotate point 4 and move it across there. Um, Now, it doesn't really make any sense just to have all the points individually controlled. So what we're going to do is click on point 2 and make that fully automatic. Click on point 4 and make that fully automatic. And then configure point 3 to switch point 4. And configure point 1 to switch point 2. So when we've made all those changes, you can see now that we've created that scissor crossover formation. Finally, we'll look at three-way points. Now, the application already lets you produce a representation of a three-way point using a standard right hand and left hand point. But the problem with that configuration is they're not really close enough together. But we can achieve a much better representation using the SX points. So I'll show you how to do this now. So point 5, which is a standard left-hand point. We'll choose the SX configuration and apply that. And point 6, again, SX configuration and apply that. And now we can move them close together. Now, it's a bit on the busy side there. So another thing the application allows you to do is to apply offsets to the buttons. So if you've got sort of quite a busy track diagram where point buttons are overlaying, you can apply some offsets. So for example, point 5, what we'll do is we'll move that back a bit, 20 pixels, apply, and point 6, we'll move that button forward probably 10 pixels, apply. So it's really clear, especially when you've got the sort of track around, which button is relating to which point. And that concludes our video on complex track work. Thanks for watching.